Hi, everyone, and welcome. For those of you who are new here, my name is Kathleen. I am a wife, a mom to two beautiful girls, and a business owner. In today's vlog, I have the privilege of speaking to a doctor who is doing amazing things in the beauty industry. Please introduce yourself to our guest.
Hi, my name is Dr. Sujata Garach. I'm a general practitioner with a special interest in medical aesthetics as well as gynecology. So I'm a doctor now for the past 27 years, and I'm doing medical aesthetics for the past, I would say 15 years. So my practice is out in Laudium, Pretoria, and Kathleen and I have had a special friendship that had started from a little event that we met at, and we've kept in touch, and thank you for having me.
No, thank you for accepting. It's lovely to actually see you. So we're going to speak to you about a bit about your business and how you started the business and exactly all the treatments that you do at your business, at your clinic. So how did you pick the business that you're in right now?
Okay, so I'm a medical doctor. So as a young child, my dad was a doctor. So the introduction to medicine was pretty easy for me. And being a daddy's girl, it came very naturally to want to become a doctor. And when I started practicing medicine, because I'm female, all the females were coming to see me. And that made it a very nice niche market to say, I only see women. And that's when the interest in gynecology came in. But with the interest in gynecology, there was women used to say, "Oh, you know what? I'm pregnant now. I've got stretch marks, or I've got pigmentation. Help me with this, or I'm picking up so much of weight." And then slowly the interest into medical aesthetics came in. Medical aesthetics is a relatively new industry worldwide as well as in South Africa. And in South Africa, it started, I think, about 17 years ago, but then also it's not like how it was now. And with the interest in the aesthetics, I started incorporating the medical aesthetics into the gynecology practice. And my business has just flourished into the medical aesthetic industry. So I need to be thankful for all those wonderful women of Laudium and the surroundings that have really supported me in my business. Yep.
Okay. I know your business name is your name. Is it? Did you go through other ideas for a business name, or you wanted to use your own name as the front of the business?
Okay. So being a professional person, being a doctor, people would know me by who I was. So it was just very easy just to say Dr. Sujata Garach, and that was how I just left it at that, and it just fits in with who I am. I think for me, I wanted to have an identity of who I am in the practice, and that's how I kept it as just my name.
Okay. I know you do a list of treatment and procedures, but is there like your top 5 that clients are coming to right now that you're seeing a trend?
Yes. So the practice is like a full-fledged medical aesthetic practice, but the mainstay of the practices are what we call the botulinum toxin injections, whether they are for the wrinkles on the glabella area, or the wrinkles on the forehead, or around the eye area, which are called the crow's feet, even for underarm sweating. So those would be the botulinum toxin injections, as well as for giving you a nice jaw contouring as such. So the botulinum toxin is a very popular one. My fillers are also very, very popular, with obviously the thread lifts that we get with the lifting of the thread of the face. Now with the lockdown, the trends have changed a little bit away from the peels, and people are doing more weight reduction. So the weight loss programs that I have, or what is called fat lipolysis, that would be the fourth one. And then thereafter comes the microneedling, the peels, and a lots of IV. So I can't just say top 5. I could actually put like about 6 or 7 on my hand. But my IV drips, my peels, my microneedling are the ones that are really my go-to daily kind of thing that I see on and on, as well as the toxin treatment and fillers.
Okay. So, what did you study? You studied medicine, and then you went into what you're doing now, or is it also included
Okay.
in when you study medicine?
Okay, so when I studied medicine, I did my MD-CHB degree, and then thereafter I went to the University of Stellenbosch, and I did what is called my honors in reproductive biology, and that's when the gynecology thing came into
Yes.
me. And then I studied my advanced diploma in aesthetic medicine,
Mhm.
and that's about, I can't remember how many years, but I think it's about about 8 9 years ago.
Mhm.
And now I teach anatomy for facial injections as well.
Oh,
So yeah, so
lovely.
that's the scope of all what I've done over a period of time with practicing as well.
Yes. Okay. No, that's lovely. Um, and so you're doing this, and is it something you have a passion for? Because obviously you get to see women every day, and do you have men coming in for treatments?
Yes, I do have men coming in as well, because the medical aesthetic market, you have the metrosexual male. They
Yes.
love doing lots of nice things. They're not just the young men, they are also the older men. So they are older men that want to look good as well, whether it's in the boardroom or it is just for themselves. So, yes, men do form a part of our practice. Women form almost, I would say, 80% of our practice. We've got about 20% of men that come into the practice for the medical aesthetic. Yeah, but the women are majority. They love doing lots and lots of nice things on their skin.
And what would you say you like about your industry? What do you like?
I love. I'm a talker. I like talking. I like interacting with my patients. I like interacting and finding out who you are and what you like doing. And I like boosting your self-esteem. I think that we women have been conditioned for a very long time to behave in a certain way and to do things in a certain
Yeah.
way. And it's just nice just to step out of that norm and just be who you are, because we always are somebody's mom, we are always somebody's wife. And it's nice just to kind of just throw that away and just be who you are. And it's lovely to connect and still be that somebody's wife or somebody's mom or someone else or something, but just to have your own little identity as well. So interacting with my patients is lovely, love boosting their confidence, making them feel really good about themselves.
Okay. And
And we
what?
form sorry, we form friendships with our patients, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So many of them have been here for years, and it's like, hey, Sujata, how are you doing? You know what I mean? It just is a nice little family
Yes.
yeah, of patients that we have, yeah, over the years.
Well, that's awesome. And what products can we find in your clinic? What products do you work with?
So I work with medical skincare products. So these are specifically a doctor range of products. Uh, I have what is called, and I treat a lot of pigmentation, lots of scarring, acne, even anti-aging stuff. So I like using products that I know are evidence-based medicine, if you want to put it that way. So I use Neostrata, I use SkinCeuticals, and I use Zero Skin. And I obviously do compounding of different products specifically if I can't seem to find a specific ingredient that's working along with somebody's skin. So then I have them compounded for me by a compounding pharmacy. So my three mainstay would be Neostrata, SkinCeuticals, as well as Zero Skin. But I do like Optify as well, and I know you know the Optify range.
Yes.
And yeah, I use the medical part of the Optify range as well.
And how are you dealing with the industry changes? I know we were in lockdown, and we've sort of gone to level 3 where some of us in the beauty industry are opening up, but you are lucky enough because you are a doctor. You were open before some of us. So how are you finding the industry changes?
Well, you know what? It's quite a knock. if a knock-on effect on you, whether it's financially or any otherwise, with opening up we opened up on the 2nd of May. A lot of changes came into being where, you needed to comply with the rules and regulations so that, you don't pick up the spread of the coronavirus. You don't take it home to your family, your staff don't take it home, because you don't want to end up in a situation where you suddenly pick it up and then you shut down again, and then you do the deep cleansing and the entire protocol, and then you restart again. So it's been a lot of training with the staff. In May, I sat with the staff on a daily basis, and this is what you need to do, this is how you do it, and we kind of trained and trained and trained and trained. It's like it's okay, but you're always screening. You're screening everyone on the telephone. If someone tells you they got a sniffles, you say, please stay at home. Get better, then you can come in. So that kind of normal patient you got into the practice is not what you're seeing. So financially, it's also a little bit difficult right now. But I think, we're going to pull through it, and we need to be positive about these changes that are happening, and maybe we need to start looking at life in a different way. So the changes have been difficult, but as time is going along, it's becoming easier to work with.
I've noticed, because I follow you on Instagram, and I see your Instagram has actually I don't know what word to use. It's evolved. You're more present on Instagram, and it's really nice to see.
Yeah.
So are you finding that we have to be more on social media as opposed to the different way we used to market? So you're marketing more on social media.
Yes, I am. The reason why I'm marketing more on social media is that everyone's got a smartphone. Everyone is, or many of us are still at home, and the only way your window to the world is via your screen. And so it just makes it easier, because everyone is going through Instagram or their social media all the time. So it's just a nice way to connect with people, and you get lots of people asking you questions, or on social media, about what you're offering, or I've got this one, I've got that, and what can I do? Lockdown skin is also not nice. I hadn't been to my hairdresser in such a long time, and it's to sit and dye your hair or to change something, it's quite an issue, you know what I mean? So it's nice to have that little connect with your doctor, or connect with somebody from on the outside when you are stuck at home. And I think social media is so big right now. So whether you're a doctor, or whether you're a therapist, or whether you are anybody out there who's selling something, it's a nice medium to kind of make people see a personal side of you, I think, as well as your professional side. So I think I like that part about social media. It's a good tool to use, definitely.
So I think you've answered this question, but I was going to ask, what has been the most challenging thing about starting a business? I think you've answered within lockdown, but what about the whole business? What do you find was the most challenging?
Okay, the most challenging, I think, for me was to first find a locality. Where I want to practice. And as a woman, I needed to be in a space where I know I was not far from home. As a mother, I needed to be near my kids, when they were younger, and to see them to school, and, the after curricular activities. So it needed to kind of center around that. Finance was definitely a big thing. You need to, and when you start out, you say, no, I want to do this and this and that and the other. And sometimes you forget the bigger picture is just to stay focused on one thing first. And the one thing was to do the doctoring for me. And then to say, okay, let me then add on stuff, you know what I mean? So that would have been the challenge, would have been the locality, from a point of view that I'm not just a business person. I'm also a mother, I'm also a wife, and I want to be part of everything. I don't want to just give my whole just to my business. I want to give my whole to my everything. You want to be a jack of all trades, you know what I mean? So that was the one, the locality. And the other thing was the finance. I think finance was a big thing. And when you're a medical person, and I'm sure from your background of your beauty therapy, you've got your nail bar and your beauty clinic as well, is that with finance, we forget that there's other things that come into that, the accounting part of it, because it all has to gel together. You must know the accounting part in order to learn the finance part, in order to put the business together. And you need to understand costings. Costings are a big thing about a practice. And sometimes you say, oh, I sold something at X, but you forget there was a costing to the X. And that was your rental, that was your salaries that you pay out, that was the cost of your goods that came in, your holding cost of other things. So there's a lot of factors that, and then I didn't understand that till a few years down the line, and then it's like, oopsie, what you thought you made, and you suddenly deflated yourself and said, that's not what I did. But yeah, I think that grounding of accounting, finance, was a big thing to learn. It was a challenge, but it was a challenge well worth learning. So I think a business, first you must make sure you know what your financials are and your costings. The costings are a big thing.
What about a good support structure as well?
Yes. You have to be blessed with good staff. But I think in order for you to be a person who manages people, you need to, you cannot just manage people by saying, I'm the boss and I know everything. I think each one of us has unique skills, whether it's my therapist, whether it's my receptionist, whether it's my, my helper who comes to help me, clean up my place. So everyone's got different skill sets. I have a different skill set. And it's nice to kind of say, let's bring it all together in this place. I'm not a believer in saying that I just want to have a person work for me for a year and then off they go. Because training staff, again, it's a difficult one, you know what I mean? So you need to, as an employer, stretch yourself out a little bit more to make everyone feel important and part of this bigger picture that is your practice. So I think for me, it's nice to make a family out of, and we have a family that works here at the practice. I mean, everybody knows who my staff are, and everyone knows that why we are here together. And I think that's the bigger thing. So I don't know everything. I learn from my therapist. I learn from my receptionist. And I like that. I like working it that way.
And what does a successful business look like for you, in your eyes?
Okay, so for me, a successful business is not just monetary. It's about what you give out there to your patient, for me, or your client. And I think it's more result driven. So you need to be result driven and expectations. You know what I mean? You must be able to meet the expectations that you put out there. And I think to show a successful business is one that where both people benefit, the person who owns the business as well as the person that walks out of your practice purchasing a product or a treatment that you give them. So it needs to be both. It must be success on both sides.
And what would you say beauty means to you?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
What would you say beauty means to you?
Oh, beauty means self-confidence, self-esteem. What you feel on the outside, it must be reflected on the inside, must be reflected on the outside. I think a beautiful woman is someone like Alicia Keys. She looks beautiful with makeup and she looks amazing without makeup. So for me, beauty is a combination of exercise, health, your outlook on life, and what you feel on the inside must reflect on the outside, and we're all in the stressful time of lockdown. Even before that, stress is something that can really make you feel and look not good. And we need to kind of think more positive. And I think positivity is a big thing on on how it impacts you as a human being. And that positivity will make you see life differently and make you feel differently. If you feel differently, you're going to look better. You're going to dress better. You're going to, so it's all those little factors that come together and make that big picture. But beauty is definitely confidence, Confidence is something that just takes it to another level.
Confidence is beautiful in its own. Yeah.
Yes.
I think another thing we need to really stress to women and young women as well is you need to look after your skin in order for makeup to also sit well
exactly
on your skin. you know?
Exactly. It's like I always tell patients, they'll say, okay, I want to have fillers done, or I want toxin done, and the other, okay, so I'm going to look good after that. I said, yes, but it's no use if your foundation is not great and you go and you enhance other things, because your skin, if your skin looks good, as in the texturing, in its fullness, in tone of your skin, then if you add other things on it, it looks amazing. So you always need to make sure that your what your surface of your skin looks like must look good in order to enhance the effect of the toxin, or to the threads or the fillers or the vampires that we do on people's skin. Obviously will make a bigger difference, but you need to make sure that the surface looks good.
Yes, yes, no, definitely, definitely. And can you give us 4 beauty products that you can't live without?
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Vitamin C. I think, first of all, we must say SPF. I think SPF is the one ingredient every woman should have. If she doesn't have an affordability for anything else, it's a good SPF. And that should be an SPF of 50. Helio K is an amazing brand. Because it's just been trial and tested. It's your screens give off what is called high energy visible light, and it's a blue light which your Helio K will definitely protect you against. Against that blue light. So I think a good SPF is vital. The second thing is the vitamin C. A vitamin C is one that's a good antioxidant. Not all skins can tolerate it, but I mean, if you go to the correct person, they'll be able to guide you on the right type of vitamin C. But a vitamin C has to be an L-ascorbic acid vitamin C, and a great one is something like a Floritin from SkinCeuticals. The other one is retinol. My skin can never get enough of retinol. Retinol is a great product to use on the skin. Obviously, needs to be used in the correct way. Otherwise, you're not going to like the effects of the retinol. I like the plant extract retinol rather than the medicated retinol. Those will be the 3. And then the last product that I can't do without is something that is called age interrupter. It is from SkinCeuticals, and it protects your skin. It repairs your skin at night. So it's a good repair skin. I mean, you can't say, okay, I'm going to put this and it's going to protect me, but you must have something that repairs your skin at night. And I like the age interrupter for older skins or for night use. In a younger skin, you can get away with almost anything. But so those would be my 4 great ones. SPF, retinol, vitamin C, and a good night recovery cream.
And so now with the lockdown here, I mean, the lockdown I think will be around for a while, or COVID will be around for a while. How have you prepared to welcome your clients or your customers? You put all the measures in place. How was that? Was it daunting?
It was a tough thing, because every time I said, oh no, you forgot this, you forgot that. So what we've done is that we've actually marked out an area. The minute the person walks in, they have to stand at least 1.5 meters away from the front desk. Nobody's allowed to come in if they don't have an appointment. You have to schedule an appointment in order to walk in. It's just for everyone's safety, from your client or your patient to yourself and your staff. So one would be a demarcated area where you don't walk in without an appointment. When people come in, when they make an appointment, we screen them, to see that they haven't had any contact with anybody in the other. And the third thing is that we only allow 2 people into the practice at any given point in time, because so that we have social distancing. We take everybody's temperature. We have a sheet, a registration as such. So everybody who comes in has to register into the practice, so that if anything goes wrong, then we know we can inform people that, listen, something happened, and you need to take care of yourself. So we've got that. And then everyone has to walk in with a mask. The mask has to be a 3-layered cloth mask, and all our staff have protective masks as well as shields. No treatments are done without the proper what you call a protective PPE.
Yes.
So you have to have an apron on. You've got your gloves, you've got your mask, and all the therapist and myself have what is called the N95 masks on. We don't throw the N95 mask away. We can use it for at least about a week and a half, and we sterilize them, and then we throw them away because they're very hard to come by. All the areas are sanitized on a daily basis, twice a day. So the entire practice is sanitized. So we actually have an hour in the morning, hour in the evening. It takes up a lot of time. But then we don't book patients after 4 o'clock, because 4 and 5 is a time where we decontaminate everything all over again. We decontaminate all the surfaces. So it's a very, very it gets easier. I mean, I think now it's okay, but those are all the measures that are in place all the time. And then everyone's got hand sanitizer. Everyone's got some desanitization of of your surfaces at every given point. So if somebody walks in and they come to the counter, if there's a delivery at the counter, if he puts a box down and if he writes something with a pen, hopefully he brings his own pen. If he doesn't, we have a special pen that the person writes with. We desanitize that pen again.
Oh, that's important. The pen. That's
actually so we do. And so it's a constant cleaning. We're constantly cleaning all the time, all the time. So it's hard.
Yeah. And now I can imagine. I mean, because I think I've been getting ready now to open. And there are so many protocols that you have to put in place. For me, I get a bit worried about people who have opened this week, because we were only told now to open, and they're opening. I'm thinking, do you have everything in place? Because at the end of the day, you making 1,000 Rand more this day than waiting to open up properly. It's not going to matter when you're sick.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I agree with you. And you need to get all those things. You've got to order all those things. I mean, so that's what we did. Before we opened up, I ordered everything. And the day we opened, everything was here. You know what I mean? So we didn't struggle with the things that we needed as such. So it's very important. Preparation is the big key. And what I did is that I gave all my staff the protocol. So I printed a protocol for everyone, and I said, please go home. We sat down and we read it for the entire week. We read it every day. And I told them, when you go home, take it with you. So if you don't understand anything, then the next day we can tackle and we can discuss it. So we did that for about a week until everyone was comfortable that this is the way things are going to go forward. But the important thing is to screen your person walking in. So we've even got a chart. So every time somebody phones in, because you forget, okay, what else are the questions? So it's all written down on a I've printed it out, and everyone asks, okay, do you have this? Do you have that? Did you have a sniffle? Did you come into contact with anybody? Did you travel provincial? What have you done in order for us? Then we know, okay, if you say yes to anything, we say, please stay at home. Just rest a little bit, come in next week. And then we schedule an appointment next week. And then we start the process all over again. And also to space your clients, you have to space them an hour apart. So everyone is an hour apart, So it's again, you can't just say, I'm going to see someone in 15 minutes, I'm done with my consultation. You still got to wait. You've got to decontaminate everything all the time. So that's the time for, that's the difference.
But like you're saying, you'd rather be safe than sorry. I mean, it's...
Exactly. And I'm sure you have guidelines, like we have guidelines with our society as such. And the Department of Health has got all those guidelines as well. So we've got all the guidelines. So take those guidelines, put it into place. It just makes you more comfortable, and you feel more confident about opening up. You know what I mean? Because if you're not confident about opening up, it's a problem. So
I think when I post this to social media, I'm actually going to link the government gazette, the one that came out. I think I'll put the link down below so people can also have that.
Yeah, I think it's a nice point that everyone should know. Yeah, and even at home, you can incorporate this at home as well. Because I mean, how long are people gonna not the domestic helper? How long is she not gonna stay away from home? From work and stuff like that. So she also feels comfortable leaving her home, coming to work. And what to do? Because we all don't know what to do. What do? Give a sanitizer, give a desanitization, we've mixed Dettol with water and as well as with a little bit of Jik in there, to sanitize all your surfaces, because those are enough to sanitize your floors and stuff like that, now, I mean, when we opened, there was such a shortage of your Dettol. It was a problem, but I think it's all back. Everything is back again, so anything that's got a 70% alcohol, you can use that and you can sanitize any area, decontaminate any area that is out there. And also not to forget your hands. Don't let your hands touch your face. When you're washing your hands, how to wash them in.
I saw your video. I didn't know this part. When I saw your video and I was like,
it is into your nails as well. And then the other thing, when you're putting on your mask, when you put on your mask, when you put it on, this is my KN95, it's fun. When I take it off this way, try to avoid. So don't touch the mask anywhere in front. And if you touch it in front, you got to throw it away. And when you dispose of it, into your bin like this. You know what I mean? So it's how you hold.
These are things that people need to know, but I feel like people don't know.
Yeah, and so if you want to take it off, and I find lots of people will touch their mask, or their mask is worn like this. You know what I mean? That's not how it should. It should cover your entire face like this.
Yes.
Right. And if you do touch anyway, just wash, just sanitize again. The disease is a horrible thing because we don't know anything about it. We don't know what it's going to do. This is a KN95, so I can use it again. So I sanitize this before I leave, and then I put it away in a sterile place. The disease is so frightening because we don't know anything about it. Most infections are going to be I would say asymptomatic or very mild. So 81% of those infections are going to be okay. It's the rest of them that we worry about, because you're going to have the 5% that's going to end up in ICU, and the rest of them are going to end up in hospital, on high flow oxygen and stuff like that. But we want to protect everyone. So if we all wear our masks and we all sanitize ourselves, we can flatten the curve very nicely without having major issues. So when people say don't visit your friends or don't let them come over, it is true. Even in lockdown 3, you should not be doing that. Because if you do that, you're going to introduce the virus into your home, and the virus will not come into your home without being invited. It will only come in if it's invited. So it is not an uninvited guest, it is an invited guest. So we need to understand that it won't come to us. We usually bring it to us.
So it's a
better way of putting it.
Being smart and being safe and sanitizing. I think people also forget shoes. I mean, I always take off my shoes at the door if I've gone shopping.
Definitely.
I take off my shoes by the door.
Yeah, take off your shoes, and then all you need to you just decontaminate them, and once they're decontaminated, they're perfectly fine. And also, I go home and then I say, okay, I'm taking off my work clothes and I go straight into the shower. It's just a nice way of not introducing it somewhere else if you are carrying it. Yeah.
No, this has been lovely. I think I actually need to come to your practice. I'm in need of a facial. The lockdown has done make my skin so dry. I don't know why, but no, I need to come for a
It's looking lovely.
But thank you so much for your time. I'm going to link all your details below if people want to get in touch with you for any treatments. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you so much, Kathleen, for having me. That was lovely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Soon.